maturity and may contain explicitly filthy material and crude f***ing language. Viewer discretion advised. Mature audiences only.
Behind the music, that's us! Behind the music, that's us!
The Big Suck Weekend, with untold stories and behind-the-scenes video, with midgets, blunts, Marilyn Manson, and so much more. The Big Suck Weekend. Smart-ass TV for smarter asses. Definition of suck.
Derived from the word succubus, which means I am Satan's bitch. Popular amongst young people who lack the vocabulary skills to critique their own surroundings. Used in a sentence, my world is crumbling around me, and gosh, the Backstreet Boys suck. We'll be right back, but first, let's play Guess Who Sucks.
Guess who sucks?
I'm going to give you 3 hints. Ready? Okay. Hint number 1 was once a little Eskimo who lived in a car. Hint number 2, her first album, Pieces of You, was a Jeffrey Dahmer all-time favorite. Hint number 3, she's got it all. Bad songs, bad poems, bad teeth. While you think about that, we'll hear a word from our sponsor. The answer, right after the break. Here are those hints again. Hint number 1 was once a little Eskimo who lived in a car. Hint number 2, her first album, Pieces of You, was a Jeffrey Dahmer all-time favorite. Hint number 3, she's got it all. Bad songs, bad poems, bad teeth. The answer, of course, is that perky songstress herself, Jewel. You know, to her credit, you never hear Jewel mentioned as a diva, that overused euphemism for the word bitch. I guess that title's best used for Barbra Streisand clones like Celine, Mariah, and our next behind the music that sucks, Christina Aguilera. Wow, that gives a whole new meaning to what a girl wants. I thought they just wanted candy or... We'll be right back after I shave my back and toss my own salad.
6 degrees. Hervé Villachez to Marilyn Manson.
Hervé Villachez played the midget on Fantasy Island, which also starred the super sexy Ricky Ricardo Montalban, whose Jerry Curl Do was adopted by gangster rapper Ice Cube, whose snake wrestling antics in Anaconda ruined the career of actor Jon Voight, who somehow managed to procreate the hottie Angelina Jolie, who shares the same tattoo artist as Marilyn Manson.
You know, you look at Marilyn Manson and you think, crazy. But if you want real crazy, check out our next star, Mariah Carey. She's nuts. Well, time for a video. Here's Heartbreaker. You know, it really breaks my heart to watch this video. Or do I mean bores me stiff? So normally there'd be a clever segue here, but this band doesn't really have much in common with Mariah. And they're not all that clever. Actually, I guess they do have something in common. Coming up next, NSYNC. We would like to issue the following statement. No Walmart customers were hurt, maimed, or killed during the filming of this episode. And is it just us, or does Lance Bass look like Ellen DeGeneres? Coming up after the break, some more useless stuff, riding a hot rod to stardom with David Hasselhoff, and some freaky German sexual imagery. Schnow, I smell something that sucks.
Facts and figures.
The male chimpanzee is 5 times hornier than the average human male.
So, Germans like a lot of dumb things, like sauerkraut, Scheisser videos, and bombing Poland. And these... Before we go out to the break, it's time for another Guess Who Sucks.
Guess who sucks?
I'm gonna give you 3 hints and, well, you know the rest. Here goes. Hint number 1, had sex with Sean Penn. Hint number 2, had sex with Guy Ritchie. Hint number 3, sex. We'll be right back after I take a cold shower. 1, had sex with Sean Penn. Hint number 2, had sex with Guy Ritchie. Hint number 3, sex. The key word here was sex, which makes me think of nocturnal emissions, guilt trips from my mother, and the answer, Madonna. You know, Madonna's what they call a crossover star, not to be confused with a cross-dressing star. Her ability to cross between mediums like music, film, and sports stars is kind of like our next featured artist, Mr. William Shatner.
It's time for 6 degrees. Madonna to William Shatner.
Madonna. She used to date Warren Beatty. He's old, but he likes his women young, like Woody Allen. who was too lazy to actually find a younger woman, so he married his daughter instead. Alan starred with Hugh Grant in Small Time Crooks, in which Grant played a pompous jerk, not unlike the pompous jerk who in real life picked up Divine Brown, an authentic street hooker, not to be confused with T.J. Hooker, the popular 80s TV show that starred the one, the only, Mr. William Shatner.
Well, beam me up, Scotty, because I think we just linked Madonna to Shatner in 6 degrees. I think I just Shatnered my pants. Speaking of poor dumb loser bastards, here's the local cable public access ripoff of our show. The local behind the music that sucks. Can you believe these schmucks ripped us off? They claim it's something called parody. I don't know what that word means, but I know I must fear it. Well, that wraps it up for this portion of the Big Suck Weekend. We'll look for you later as we roam about on the giant suck landscape that is the Big Suck Weekend. Until then, keep your hands down your pants and keep scratching for the sores. See you soon. This next video is presented in Cisco Vision. Cisco Vision is patent pending. Any unauthorized use of Cisco Vision without express written consent is illegal and may result in distemper, gonorrhea, unholy or unexpected caresses, and other forms of vigilante justice delivered with extreme prejudice. We'll be right back. But first, it's time for Guess Who Sucks?
Guess who sucks?
You'll have 3 hints. Here goes. Hint number 1. He's a musician and an actor, but isn't Snoop Dogg or the Muppets. Hint number 2. He married his high school sweetheart, which is cool, unless you become a rich and famous rock star with thousands of groupies. Hint number 3. He gave love, New Jersey, and music a bad name. While you think about that, here's a word from our sponsors. The answer when we return. Hint number 1. He's a musician and an actor, but isn't Snoop Dogg or the Muppets. Hint number 2. He married his high school sweetheart, which is cool, unless you become a rich and famous rock star with thousands of groupies. Hint number 3. He gave love, New Jersey, and music a bad name. The answer, of course, is John Bon Jovi. You know, Bon Jovi has quite a loyal army of fans, but nothing like this next group. They actually have an army. A bunch of weirdos who dress up in leather and fishnets and wear makeup. Sounds more like the Navy to me. Anyway, here they are, Kiss.
6 degrees, from Kiss to Insane Clown Posse. Kiss is led by a cow-tongued Gene Simmons, who is involved with Shannon Tweed, a Skinamax star and Playboy playmate doted on by Hugh Hefner, the septuagenarian love muscle who has serviced more customers than McDonald's, whose president and CEO is Ronald McDonald, who has the same Beverly Hills makeup artist as Insane Clown Posse.
Hey, couldn't we have done that in just 1 degree? You know, the face paint, the ridiculous costumes, the declining sales? Once again, it's time for Guess Who Sucks?
Guess who sucks?
Let's get started. Hint number 1. They're the hottest thing to come out of Florida since B. Arthur. Hint number 2. A first-class combo of trailer park trash and hip-hop beats. Hint number 3. Did it all for the nookie. We'll be right back with the answer after I marinate my steak and finish my colonic. Number 1, they're the hottest thing to come out of Florida since B. Arthur. Hint number 2, a first-class combo of trailer park trash and hip-hop beats. Hint number 3, did it all for the nookie. Did you get it? The answer, of course, is Limp Bizkit. You know, I hear Fred Durst keeps his dog in the room when he has sex with groupies. That's disgusting. This next Behind the Music That Sucks star doesn't have sex with groupies. He makes love. Billy Corgan. The perfect way to end this portion of the Big Suck Weekend. Sucktacular. Thanks for sucking along, you sucking sucks.
Guy who knows a lot about everything but can't hold down a job on account of his apathy and yet managed to score with all the chicks in college. The Big Suck Weekend. Pimping harder than 2 pimps with a pimp machine. Definition.
Coming up next, Tupac. Well, that was tasteless. You know, Tupac had an affair with Faith Evans, former wife to Biggie Smalls. They were married. In the hip-hop world, that's like bringing your own booze to an Irish wedding. Anyway, here's a video. We'll be right back with a piano man who had sex with Christy Brinkley. Awesome.
Ending up next, Billy Joel.
We'll be right back with a bad boy for life. Awesome.
6 degrees. Billy Joel to Puff Daddy. Billy Joel, the piano man, had a hit with Uptown Girl, which is a fair, if partial description of Leona Helmsley, an older woman who reminds a lot of people of Satan, not to be confused with Santa, the old bowl of jelly who supposedly had a beard like Abraham Lincoln, whose namesake adorns the Lincoln Navigator, the preferred getaway vehicle of Puff Daddy.
And now here's Diddy Daddy, a bad boy for life. No, wait, I misread that. He's just plain bad. For life. Ah, the perfect way to end this portion of the Big Suck Weekend. Sucktacular. We'll look for you soon on the Big Suck.
Coming up next, Kid Rock's message to the people, and Jewel, former Eskimo, folk singer, and spokeswoman for teenage girls with bad teeth and big boobs. Behind the music that sucks. Lesson number 295. Remember your wife's name.
I love Sarah to death, man. You mean Heather? Heather Locklear? Heather.
Lesson number 438. Plastic surgery is an investment in your future.
You believe I'm 103.
Behind the music that sucks. We're there so you don't have to be.
Behind the music that sucks, behind the music that sucks,
Coming up next, they're the brothers who can't decide which one sucks worse. Liam and Noel Gallagher of Oasis. Coming up next, Fiona Apple, black, white, or just another sex-crazed Lolita with a penchant for Maya Angelou.
Check.
Coming up next, chronic masturbator turned rock star Marilyn Manson. Plus, how Bob Vila and Power Tools helped turn Trent Reznor into a hate-filled monster. Behind the music that sucks, lesson number 159. No matter how rich and famous you become, remember to keep it all in perspective.
It's all about my little girl.
I don't recall asking you a goddamn thing. Now go and get me some apple juice.
Lesson number 393. William Shatner can do whatever he wants.
Once, twice, 3 times.
Behind the music that sucks, we're there so you don't have to be.
Behind the music that sucks, behind the music that sucks.
For Satan. Coming up next, garbage singer Shirley Manson's battle with Tourette syndrome.
Bitch, shut your f***ing word, you c***. How you f***ing Heineken treatment to you?
Coming up next, he looks like a chick, but he's John Bon Jovi.
I like music.
Welcome to the circus!
Coming up next, the pioneers of partying, sex-crazed girl bands, the Go-Go's. Coming up next, the Insane Clown Posse and their ties to New Kids on the Block. Coming up next, it's sucky, crazy diva time. Stay tuned for the stories of Celine Dion and Babs. Coming up next, how Donny Osmond rescued the Hanson brothers from suckdom. Coming up next, Kevin Bacon, actor, singer, and the owner of one big dick. Next, don't call it a comeback. He's been sucking for years. He's LL Cool J. Coming up next, the story of Joe C., Kid Rock's sidekick, or just another jealous little midget. Oh. Coming up next, he taught us how to foot loose. He took us to the danger zone. Now Kenny Loggins takes us to the boner zone. Coming up next, Eric Clapton, a story about a guitar god turned FM light wussy boy. Coming up next, the son of a whore becomes an old dirty bastard. Coming up next, Everyone around Shania Twain dies. Is her sucky music to blame?
Coming up next, once, twice, 3 times a loony, Lionel Richie. Coming up next, how the movie Top Gun and the Air Force revitalized the sucky career of one John Denver. Behind the music that sucks.
The network you have reached, Much Music USA, will be changed. The new network will be Fuse. Coming May 19th.
Coming up next, for those about to suck, we salute you with the story of AC/DC.
We're in charge of the new name of the network. Snitchy.
Snitchy Music. They're changing their name.
Beagle.
Bacon.
Cheddar Bacon. You know, they said they wanted something different. Dude, this name thing is hard.
Have you ever said your name over and over? Randy, 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 Randy,
That is
Randy.
awesome. There is a method to our madness.
So guys, how's it going with that name thing?
No, get out! Get out! Guy sucks. Say goodbye to Much Music USA. Say hello to... This is gold, right?
Coming up next, before Hootie and the Blowfish, Darius Rucker replaced Emmanuel Lewis as TV's Webster. We're not f***ing kidding. Coming up next, who the hell let the dogs out? Why, it's those kings of suckosity, the Baha Men. Next, Mr. Wango Tango, I love killing animals, Mr. Ted Nugent. Coming up next, one-hit wonders, Jumbo Wumba.
Fabulous. Glamour. Love it.
From their humble beginnings at a Watford cheese factory, to their confirmation as the greatest band in the history of time, to their current status as a Klingon in the ass crack of human existence, Chumbawamba saw and did it all in under 24 hours. Their remarkable story is next on Behind the Music That Sucks.
What are you on about? No one f***ing died.
April coming up next. They called Farrah Fawcett Mommy and drew their inspiration from Jeff Foxworthy. It's the Dixie Chicks. Coming up next, sexy singing superstar Tom Jones really, really loves farm animals. Really. Cher and how her story has inspired transvestites all over the world.